guys, and welcome back. In this video today, I'm going to be going over the nutrition plan that I integrated to make my transformation possible, so it can hopefully help you. I'm going to kind of briefly outline what I did as a fat dude that got me up to 305, but this video is mainly going to be comprised of the strategies that I took and put into place. So I went from Fat Mike to Skinny Mike. All right, so Fat Mike, I started lifting 3 years ago, so January of 2013, I was 20 years old. I started at a body weight of about 230, 235 pounds, pretty skinny fat. I had gone through a couple phases in my life where I lost a bit of weight, but basically it's how everybody did it. Crash diet, tons of cardio, not enough weight training, leads to skinny fat, unaesthetic physique. And I already kind of looked like a fridge, so it just made the problem even worse. Anyways, so what did I do? Well, when I started lifting weights, I started training 5 days a week, a lot of volume, just lifting heavy all the time, just maxing out all the time like everybody does. And I ate everything in sight. Fast food, it didn't matter. Tons of whole milk. I did the Go Mad diet. Don't do the Go Mad diet. Completely ruined my insides. I would shit for weeks, couldn't sleep, but that's for another video altogether. Anyway, so it didn't really get really juicy and really nasty until I got to about 275. So that was about following my first meet. I'd make these disgusting weight gainer shakes that comprised of half a liter of whole milk, half a liter of full fat cream. Yeah, you heard that correctly, full fat cream. One or two scoops of peanut butter and 3 scoops of protein, and have that 2 times a day, in addition to like the 4 to 6 McDoubles, 7, 8 eggs and bacon, all the other crap that I was eating. And that got me from like 275 up to 300 plus pretty damn quickly. And that's why my waist was also close to 50 inches. So bulk hard, maybe not as hard as me, but to all you guys saying that you can't eat enough to gain weight, ha! That's a joke and that's a lie. Anyways, that aside, the Skinny Mike transformation started in June 2014. I woke up one morning following my last meet as a super heavyweight where I totaled a really mediocre like 1350. That's like a 350 Wilks score at like a body weight of 295. That's no good. So I decided, I woke up one morning being the obsessive person that I am after doing tons of research and being in that contemplative stage that a lot of people, they don't end up surpassing that. I went out and I knew I had to do 2 things: buy a food scale and download MyFitnessPal. So that's what I did. During this time, and still to this day, I listened to Mark Bell's Powercast. And at the time, he was really fat and lost a bunch of weight, and he said that the strategy that he implemented was the ketogenic style diet. Now, basically the philosophy was just to cut a little bit of the junk out of your diet, and that kind of transitions you into a more sustainable sort of diet that you can implement every single day and not have to worry about. So I integrated this ketogenic style diet for about 8 weeks. So now the fortunate part about being really heavy is that you lose a lot of weight pretty quickly. Especially when you're going such low carbs, high fat, and high protein, you're gonna drop that excess water weight pretty quickly. So after that first initial 8 weeks, I went from 305 pounds to about 270, 265, 270, and I floated in that range. I then decided at this point that probably wasn't the most optimal diet for, seeing, some sort of gains, or at least maintenance of my already established strength gains in the gym. I heard about if it fits your macros, and I kind of thought, this sounds a little weird, sounds a little bit too good to be true. Little did I know that later on, it completely changed the way that I look at food and dieting in general. So I transitioned into more of a if it fits your macros sort of style, figured out the calories that I needed to establish a deficit. I started the calories at about 3,500 calories. Now I use just kind of like a generic calculator on ifym.com, and it took me a couple weeks to kind of find that range where I knew I was not losing too much and not losing very little, just at that pound and a half range per week. So I transitioned into the IFYM style, and that carried me down until I was about 240 pounds, eating about 2,400 calories a day. That's 10 times body weight. At that weight, that's way too little food. So I decided, okay, what am I gonna do? Well, I know already at this point, the metabolism isn't a static thing, so you can kind of build this up to a certain degree. I guess this is called reverse dieting. So what I did after that was I added 100 calories per week in the form of carbohydrates. I did this very methodically over a period of time. And during that time, I went from 240 down to about 210 to 215, so I lost some additional body fat in the process. Now, some people ask me, well, why do you increase the calories, why did you lose weight? Well, it's simple. Just because I was adding those calories week to week Doesn't mean I was in a surplus or I was maintaining. I was still in a deficit. So I was still technically losing weight up until I got into that point. So I was then eating 3,500 calories that are on a body weight of 210 to 215. I maintained here for a little while. I said, this is the best my physique has ever looked, basically in my entire life. So I said, oh, this is a good range to stick here for a bit. I then decided, after the holidays in early sort of 2015, like, why don't I diet down, do my first meet as a 93 kilo lifter, and set a goal for the end of the summer to do a photo shoot to mark the official end of the transformation. So that's what I did. So I just followed the exact same sort of protocol. I reduced calories, kept the training heavy and hard. I was training about 4 or 5 days per week, and that got me down to about 200 pounds. I then started to have to implement a little bit of cardio just to get me down to those single-digit body fat numbers. And I just did that in the form of some steady state cardio in the morning, mainly on the weekends, fasted sort of bodybuilder treadmill cardio, 30 minutes on an incline, and I would hike once a week as well. So I did that meet as a 93 kilo junior. Obviously I got a PR on the deadlift, PR on the Wilks score. I kind of messed up that whole meet with a really stupid noob water cut. Never doing that again, but I'll cover that in a later video. And then achieved my goal of 197 pounds, and I did the photo shoot at the end of the summertime in August. So that was over 100 pounds lost at that point. Now, following that, I binged a lot, and I got back up to about 205 where I maintained for a bit. I then bulked up to 220 during this past holiday season, and at the present day, I'm now trying to come back down from all the holiday binging. So it's 220, and now I'm 206. See, it doesn't have to be fancy. The only supplements that I used during this time were some protein, some creatine, and some pre-workout because I'm a stimulant junkie, and that was about it. No fat burners, no gimmicks, none of that crap. It was just hard work and consistency over a period of time. I had a strategy, how to introduce the diet into my life, how I maintained it, and now it's something that's just part of my life that I don't even have to think about. So I hope this video helped you guys. I'm by no means recommending that you do follow the same protocol. This is just the way that I did it. So like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and in the next video we're going to be covering the training regime that I did that made this transformation also possible. So thank you very much, and have a great day.